Today, I am celebrating 800 episodes on the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I just posted the 800th episode on the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. And today I want to talk about the power of having a long-term mindset, the power of commitment, and I'm going to talk about something called the compound effect and how this relates to your relationship with food and conquering binge eating sustainably. So the first things first with the Ditch Decade Diets podcast, I first want to share this story, and then I'm going to relate this back to how this can be supportive for you in your journey of conquering binge eating. So in 2019, that was the year that I committed to really going all in and healing my relationship with food. I dedicated well over a year plus. It was all of 2019 and into 2020. And that was the year that I was committed to conquering binge eating, to working on myself, to healing my relationship with food, to cultivating self-love. That was the year I really dedicated to doing this work and healing my relationship with food. And so, of course, I conquered. And in 2021, I had this idea of starting a podcast episode, because if you've ever done something that's changed your life, if you've learned something and it completely transformed your life, your children's life, or maybe a partner's life, you want to share it with the world. You don't want to just keep these tools to yourself. And that's how I felt once I conquered binge eating. I was like, more people need to learn how to rewire their brain. This changed my life. More people need to understand that there's actually a way to completely rewire your brain out of these habitual cycles. I want people to not feel alone anymore. I want people to stop feeling broken, because that's how I felt. I felt like I was the outlier. I felt like nobody else in the world gets me. I'm the exception. And I wanted to be a voice for other women and to be the guidance for so many people around the world, to show them what's possible. And, I learned these tools that have changed my life, like not even just my relationship with food, but just my life in general. Like I use a lot of the tools that I've used to heal my relationship with food to become less impulsive in my everyday life, to feel more grounded, to feel more calm. And my clients tell me this all the time. They're like, Lorna, these tools are like life tools. They're like, I'm just more grounded. I'm more calm with my children. I'm more present with my family. And so I was like, I need to get my message across to way more people. And so I started the Ditch Decade Diets podcast in 2021. I think it was March of 2021. And I remember seeing other people, having these podcast episodes. I had no idea people were going to, listen to the podcast. I had no idea how many lives I was going to change. I had no idea if there was going to be one person listening, 30 people listening, 100 people listening, 1 million people listening. I had no idea. But I just knew in my heart, in my soul, that I had something really powerful to share, that these tools changed my life. And I wanted to help many women across the world also conquer binge eating. So I put out my first podcast episode. I think there was like a few people that listened to it. And then I put out the second episode. And then I put out the third episode. And I kept on putting out these episodes. And it was it wasn't like 1 million people listened to the podcast on day one. But I would get these messages like, Lorna, I feel like you're speaking directly to my soul. No one explains binge eating the way that you explained it. You make it sound so simple. I feel like our journeys are so similar, like you just get me. And so I created more and more podcast episodes. And there was a point in 2023, I did a podcast episode every single day. Now, I tell you guys all the time, consistency is key. Repetition is what rewires your brain. Using the tools over and over and over and over and over again is what's going to rewire your brain out of binge eating. And I don't just tell you that, I live by that. I lived by that when I conquered binge eating, but I also live by that in my life. I did a podcast episode every single day in 2023. That's 365 episodes, probably actually more in that 1 year. We have reached 800 podcast episodes. Now, the key thing here is, are you only consistent when you feel like it's working? Or are you consistent all the time? At the beginning, like I said, there was a few people listening, but I still showed up as if I was speaking to 1 million women. Even after a month, even in 2022, the podcast wasn't like 1 million people are listening and people are telling me every single day, oh my God, this podcast is changing my life. But I stayed consistent no matter what. And as a result of that, as a result of me staying consistent with this podcast, we've hit 800 podcast episodes. Lives have been changed around the world. And so many of my clients that now have completely transformed their relationship with food and went off to live their binge-free life, they actually started off by listening to the podcast. And imagine if I said, I don't think anyone's listening. Yeah, it's probably not working. Yeah, I'm probably just going to stop. We wouldn't be here today celebrating 800 podcast episodes, but more importantly, there wouldn't be people from all around the world feeling seen, feeling heard, having hope. Like, thank God. People tell me all the time, Lorna, thank you for going first and sharing your story. I thought I was the only one. Lorna, thank you so much for sharing your story. I see so much of my journey and what you went through. Lorna, thank you so much for being so vulnerable and sharing the thoughts that you had and the behaviors you were engaging with food, because man, I was so shameful. I felt so embarrassed. I thought nobody else does this. I poured my heart and my soul into the podcast because I never once wanted a single person to feel alone in this journey. Which is why I shared my journey. I shared the highs. I shared the lows. I shared vulnerable moments. I shared how I opened up to Andrew when I was struggling with binge eating. I shared eating in the bathroom stall in high school because I hated eating in front of other people. Like, I literally went there. I shared it all. But the key thing here was I didn't just show up and record podcast episodes when it felt like there was a lot of people listening. I showed up and did this podcast whether people were telling me that they were listening or not. And because I just kept going, because I stayed consistent with things no matter what, now we've reached 800 episodes and there's been over 300,000 downloads on the podcast. We're almost at 300,000 downloads. The clients that have worked with me today, that have went off and lived their binge-free life, they're no longer binging. They started listening to the podcast episode. And why I'm sharing this with you is because there's something called the compound effect. And so there are certain things that you're going to do on your journey that you feel like aren't going to make a massive difference right away. Let's use meditation, for example. So meditation is a really profound tool in helping you reduce your impulsivity. There's a section of the brain right here. It's called prefrontal cortex, and which is responsible for helping you make more rational decisions. And when you meditate, it increases the size, the thickness, and the amount of folds in this prefrontal cortex that actually helps you have more control around food. Now, if somebody were to meditate today, if you were to meditate today for 5 minutes, you probably wouldn't notice like this profound difference. You're not going to be like, I never struggle with food. You're not going to really notice a difference. You might not even notice a difference in a week from now. Maybe not even a month from now. But where does your mind go? Does your mind say, oh, I don't think this is working. Yeah, well, I mean, I had a binge yesterday, so I don't think this meditation thing is working. Or do you understand the compound effect that what you did last week, yesterday, last month, is supporting you next month and the month after? This is the compound effect. The compound effect is you do something today, you're not going to see an immediate result tomorrow, or even next week, or even next month. But maybe 2 months from now, 3 months from now, what you did prior is actually the reason why you were able to have less binges in 2 months from now. But most people aren't willing to have this long-term context. Everybody wants results immediately. I meditated today, but like, I don't get it. I still binged. Okay, but I meditated every day for 30 minutes, but like, I'm still impulsive. And if those people pull the plug, so to speak, and say, yeah, it's probably not working, this whole meditation thing, yeah, I don't think it's for me. Meanwhile, somebody else who stayed consistent, despite still maybe feeling impulsive, they continued on maybe for another week, another 2 weeks, another 3 weeks, another 4 weeks. And they're the ones that are having less binges. They're the ones who are like, it feels so weird because I'm no longer really like overeating. Like my body just knows when to stop when I'm full. It's like, like why is this happening? Oh, because of what you did last month and you never gave up. People are so used to instant gratification, instant results, but it's not necessarily what you do today that's gonna create this transformative experience for you. It's what you do consistently over time, despite seeing results, that is going to create this compound effect. And this is why I preach long-term, like committing long-term to healing your relationship with food. I did not commit for a month. I did not commit for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6, 7. I committed for well over a year. And now I'm reaping the rewards of being over 5 years binge-free. But not a lot of people are willing to be committed long-term. It's like, oh, but I'm still impulsive. I don't think it's working. It's been a day. It's been a month. It's been 2 months. The compound effect is, the way that I describe it is, things are happening for you behind the scenes. You are rewiring your brain behind the scenes. You can't see it. Like you can't physically see your brain rewiring, but it is. So every single time that you don't give in to a strong urge, you are rewiring your brain. Is it going to make a massive difference this week? Probably not. But you stay consistent with that, and then a month from now, 2 months from now, you're going to be like, I can't remember the last time that I binged. When you do something, and whether it's not given to your urges, whether it's you're at a restaurant and you stopped when you were comfortably full, or maybe you were full and you really wanted to get dessert because like that's so habitual for you, and you're like, you know what? I'm actually full. I'm going to respect my body and I'm not going to eat past fullness. That's not going to change the trajectory of your week. But if you stay consistent with that, even if it feels like nothing has changed, your brain is rewiring. Your brain is rewiring. You are becoming less impulsive with food every single day. But are you the person that keeps on going even when it feels like, but I'm still impulsive? Or are you somebody that's like, well, I don't think that made a big difference. I mean, not giving into my urge, honestly, like I just gave in today, so it's probably not that big of a deal. You have to see every single thing that you do as a big deal. Not giving into your urges once is a big deal, and it is supporting you. It is helping you become less impulsive. Stopping when you're full at that restaurant and deciding, I'm full from dinner. Even though I want dessert, I'm going to respect my body and I'm not going to have the dessert. You have to trust that that's actually making a big difference. This is the compound effect. You might not see it working. You can't see your brain rewiring, but it is. And there were so many times on my journey, I'd wake up every single morning. I was so committed to conquering. Like this, it was the most important thing in my life. I got up every single morning. I did my morning routine before I had to go to work. Sometimes I'd wake up at like 4:45, 5 a.m. I do my meditation. I do my breathwork technique. I'd use my brain-based tools to reprogram my brain every single morning. Did I notice massive changes that week? No. But I stayed consistent no matter what. And me staying consistent is the direct result of me being over 5 years binge-free. The power of long-term commitment. Not, I'm going to do this for a week and it better work. And if I don't see results, it's not working. Everybody's used to like instant gratification. I used to do like these fitness challenges and I take progress photos and it was like, you better see results in a week. It's like I would take pictures in the same outfit, the same bathing suit in my room. Okay, put your arms out. Okay, turn to the side. And it's like, okay, put the two side by side. Okay, better see results in a week. God forbid you don't see results in a week. You're like, it's not working. What's wrong? Everybody's used to fast results. Social media, the media is used to telling you, hey, you can see results in 20 days. Hey, see results in this 4-week challenge. Everybody's used to quick, fast results. I need to see a result tomorrow. I need to see a result tomorrow. If not, I'm going to be mad. I'm going to feel like a failure. I'm going to throw in the towel. You actually don't want quick fix results when it comes to healing your relationship with food, because there's nothing worse than giving it your all and then a month from now or 2 months from now, old habits resurface. That's frustrating. Just like, if you've ever gone on a diet and you've seen results in 4 weeks, you saw results in 8 weeks, you lost weight super fast. Sure, you felt excited. You were, like, woo, amazing. The worst thing ever is after putting in all that effort and all that time and all that energy, 4 weeks later, you put on double the weight back. Isn't that the most frustrating thing? You become even more frustrated because you're like, I feel like I gained more weight than I even started in the first place. And then you're worried about what are people going to say because, oh my God, people just saw me and I lost a bunch of weight and now I gained a bunch of weight. Now I'm even more insecure. And now I have to go on an even crazier diet because, like, what are people going to say? You don't want a quick fix. Do you want that? No. So with healing your relationship with food, it's like anybody can stay committed for a month or 2 months. But what's the point of saying, I didn't binge all month, and then 3 months down the road, you have the worst binges of your life because work was extra busy or something happened in your personal life. And because you didn't actually do the work to sustainably rewire your brain, to actually get to the root of your binging and reprogram your brain, something set you off and a week long of overeating. You're in like this sweet tooth spiral where it's like all you're wanting is sweets. And you're like, what the heck? And you're even more frustrated at yourself because you're like, I went a month without binging. What the heck? But did you do things sustainably? Did you focus on the compound effect? Or were you just like, I need to be binge free by tomorrow? That was never my mindset. You guys, I'm telling you right now, I understand you want to be binge free tomorrow. I remember on my journey, I'm like, this needs to be removed from my life now. Like, I cannot go a single day longer thinking about food, feeling so bloated. I couldn't even put leggings on to work out. Hi, Leah or Leia. Hello. So happy you're here. I relate 100%. I see you. I couldn't even put leggings on. Like, I didn't want to be intimate with my husband. I'm like, I need to do something. Like, I can't keep doing this. So I wanted to conquer binge eating tomorrow. But the balance here was I wasn't expecting results tomorrow. This is it. And I actually had a client that started working with me inside of the Root and Rewire membership. And she's been working with me since I believe June. So June, July, August, September, October. It's been about 5 months. And she said to me, Lorna, I'm going to be so honest with you. At first, I wanted a quick fix. I was hoping that honestly, there would be some magical solution. She's like, I'm just being so honest. I just was wishing that there would be this fast magical solution. And then she said, wait a minute. I recognized that I don't even want that. Yes, I want to stop my binge eating. And she has. But she's like, I want sustainable long-term results. And this is also something that I want to talk about. When I say commit long-term, have a long-term mindset, I am not saying that you're not going to see results for 6 months or a year. I'm not saying that. This client that came to me within the first month of us working together, she's like, I don't even feel the urge. And she used to binge every single night. But what I mean by long-term mindset is that there's going to be results throughout the days, right? Like, you are going to be less impulsive. You are going to have less food thoughts. But the quote unquote end destination, I hate saying that because there's really a no end destination when you're a woman who's so committed to growth and committed to being the best version of yourself. But what I mean by long-term mindset, committing long-term, is you're going to see results. You're going to feel less impulsive in a week. You're gonna be able to experience so many wins where you go out for dinner and you just like leave food on your plate, or you go out for ice cream with your family and you didn't feel guilty at all. It was like the most fun thing ever. Like, one of my clients, she's like, I actually asked my family if they wanted to go out for ice cream. Like, normally I wouldn't be the one asking. And I thought it would be such a fun night out with our family. So we went out for ice cream. You're gonna experience results. You're going to have so many wins a week into your journey, a month into your journey, 2 months into your journey. But that's different than, I better see results tomorrow. And if not, I'm a failure. It's not working. That's very different. So on my journey, I had a long-term mindset, meaning I was willing to commit long-term because I wanted to be binge-free for the rest of my life. I was not interested in having a binge-free month and then something happening down the road, or God forbid, Andrew and I went on vacation and I was like spiraling out of control. I didn't want that. So I had a long-term mindset, but throughout the journey, even 1 month in, I was like, I can't even believe like the food thoughts have diminished. It was easier for me to not give in to my urges. I remember eating in front of other people, which was like used to be the scariest thing. So results are going to happen for you on week 1, month 2. Having a long-term mindset doesn't mean no results until 6 months. It's you're going to see results every single day, every single month. Once you actually, implement the proper brain-based tools, you're going to see results. but you have to have a long-term mindset. So that client that came to me and she was like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I was hoping you'd give me this magical solution and I'd just be binge free really quickly. And after a month, she didn't feel any urges anymore. She's completely transformed her relationship with food over the past 5 months. But she's committed. She's still committed. Like, so she's seeing results on a daily, weekly, monthly basis. But she's committed long term because she actually wants to not just heal her relationship with food, but like she wants to sustain this for the rest of her life. That's what I mean by a long-term mindset. So it's not like you're not going to see results for 6 months or 12 months, but when you commit long-term, you do things sustainably. And this is where you can go off and stay binge-free for a year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. You never have to worry about life getting stressful, feeling overwhelmed, going on vacation, attending a buffet, holidays around the corner. Like, you don't have to worry about any of that because you have full confidence that you committed and you stayed committed to the compound effect. Because you know now that what you do next month is the reason you're less impulsive with food this month. Too many people are like, well, I didn't give in to my urge today, so like, why did I binge tomorrow? Instead of saying, I didn't give in to my urge yesterday, and I'm going to continue to not give in to my urges because that's what's going to help me be way less impulsive next month. It's this compound effect. So I implemented the compound effect when I healed my relationship with food in 2019, and that's why I'm over 5 years binge-free today. My clients implement the compound effect. And I implemented this even with the podcast. For those of you guys who are just jumping on now, I just shared that there's been 800 episodes on the Ditch Decade Diets podcast. I stayed committed no matter what. Not just when people were telling me, oh my God, this is an amazing podcast. Like, I stayed committed no matter what. And if you stay committed to this journey, it's inevitable you're going to conquer. I have never seen a client come to me who's committed long-term. They work with me for, they sign up for 6 months, 12 months. I've never seen somebody who is committed, dedicated, who implements the tools, who plugs into our badass community, who has a long-term mindset that does not conquer. I haven't seen that. It's people who are like, but I need results tomorrow. They're the ones that start and stop. They only show up when they see results. And when they don't see results, they pull the plug. It's going to actually take you much longer to conquer that way. Because it's always like start and then take a few steps back. And then, okay, let me try. Okay, this week for sure. This week for sure, I'm going to really stay committed. And then you take a step forward. And then something happens and you binge and you say, oh, I'm such a failure. And then you take steps backwards. Versus somebody who's committed to this compound effect. I'm committed to rewiring my brain. I'm committed to doing things sustainably. It's like there might be ups and downs, of course, but there's still this upward trajectory where you are becoming less impulsive with food over time. That's what I'm interested in helping you with. So I wanted to come on and share this with you to not just celebrate. We've just crossed 800 episodes on the Ditch Decade Diets podcast, but the importance of a long-term mindset, the importance of the compound effect when you are healing your relationship with food, showing up even when you feel like it's not working, even when you feel like, but I'm not feeling like nothing is changing. My hunger and fullness cues, it feels so challenging for me to stop when I'm full. Like, okay, maybe I know when I'm hungry, but my fullness cues, that's still really challenging. But you got to continue showing up and practicing stopping when you're full today, tomorrow, next week. Because as a result of that, that's why next month or 2 months from now, it's actually felt really easy for you to stop when you're full. You didn't have to like really try. It was just like, oh, I was able to just stop. because of what you did last month. This is the compound effect. This is the compound effect. And, truly, this is why the Root and Rewire membership is 6 or 12 months. Because I am only interested in helping badasses who want to do things sustainably. You're serious about conquering binge eating. Like, you are this badass action taker. You're ready to put in the work. You're ready to show up powerfully for yourself. You're like, this is a top priority for me. I don't want to just have less food thoughts. I want them gone. I don't want less urges. I don't want to feel a single urge to binge. Like, I am so committed that you commit to 6 or 12 months. There was a point that I thought when I first created the membership, I was like, maybe I'll do it month to month. So people can just come for a month and that's it. And then I was like, no, screw that. I am here to help women who are committed to this journey. And it's actually a disservice. It would have been a massive disservice if I created a month-to-month membership, because that's an easy cop-out. When things get challenging, I'm out. When things get hard, I'm out. But you are someone who's committed, no matter freaking what. You're this badass. You're going to show up no matter what, which is why I created it to be 6 or 12 months so that you can be dedicated, committed to this journey through the ups, through the downs, but no matter what, I know you're going to conquer, because it's inevitable when you are somebody who is so dedicated to this journey. I'm committed. I'm dedicated. I plugged in. I get support. I learn from someone with past lived experience. I'm committed. I'm all in. You're going to conquer. It's not a matter of are you going to? You are. It's just a matter of when. And when you have the right mindset, it is inevitable that you will conquer and then stay binge free because you did things sustainably. So if you have not yet joined the Root and Rewire membership, this is truly the best place to join. This is the best place to start learning how to have a better relationship with food, how to rewire your brain out of these habitual cycles. We actually have our Q&A today. We have a monthly Q&A. Every single month, you get to come on Zoom with me, ask your specific questions, connect with the badass community. This is the place to be. I'm not interested in helping you, have a quick fix result of 1 month where you feel really good. I want you to feel so damn good. I want you to eat like a normal person again. I want you to feel so confident with your food choices. I want you to be able to bake whatever you want without spiraling out of control. I want you to be able to go to any restaurant, no matter where you are in the world, and you just have so much confidence that you can order exactly what you want without overthinking the menu, without spiraling out of control. And that's going to happen for you inside of the Root and Rewire membership. So if you've not yet joined, you can message me membership and I'll send you all the details. This is for someone who's an action taker, someone who's committed to their relationship with food, somebody who's looking for long-term sustainable results. You're not interested in a quick fix. You want to change your life. You want to revolutionize your relationship with food. You're ready. You're committed to doing things sustainably. You'd be a perfect fit for the membership. So message me membership to get inside. We're doing our monthly Q&A today. I'm so fired up. I'm so excited. And when you join now, you actually get my program, Eliminate Your Urges. That's starting on Monday. This program is all about helping you easily not give into your urges no matter how strong they feel. And that's just a bonus for joining the membership now. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay committed long-term. Don't pull the plug. Focus on the compound effect, because when you do, you're going to look back at your life and be so freaking proud that you committed, that you dedicated time and energy towards this, because you have the rest of your life no longer struggling with food. It's the greatest gift you can give yourself. So thank you guys so much for being here. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you guys soon. Okay, bye guys.